Elbows up. It's become a real rallying cry across this country in the face of Donald Trump's ongoing threats for trade, for sovereignty. Of course, it refers to a tough brand of hockey, but it's also the name of a rally set for tomorrow in Toronto. And for that rally, there will be speeches, there'll be all sorts of activities, and there will be music. In fact, if you happen to be at Nathan Phillips Square around 2:30 in the afternoon, you will hear this.
Listen to the boss sing Turnpike Blues. Sent you an anchor for your nightly news. Happy on the highway that never ends. You used to be the best of friends. Oh no, what went wrong? You used to be the singers in a two-part song. Guess all good things come to an end, but we used to be the best of friends. Yeah, we used to be the best of friends.
We used to be the best of friends, the viral sensation from the great Jim Cuddy. And it's not enough to watch him on what you probably got in your inbox. How about you watch him on our show? Good morning, Jim Cuddy.
Good morning, Heather. How are you?
I'm always glad to see you. Thank you for giving us some time. I want to talk about this song. Everyone's loving it.
Yeah, it's been very good. It was a very spontaneous thing. I mean, obviously, I, like everybody else here, is really affected by the things that are coming out of the United States, and I certainly love the way that Canadians are reacting. But I also wanted to reflect on my long history with the United States and being a kid in Southern Ontario or Montreal and just being sort of absorbing American culture all the time. So kind of like breaking up with a longtime lover.
So was there one moment that said, this is too much, I've got to express it the way that you do? It would turn to music, turn to songwriting, or I just this build up and then just sort of capping this incredible moment that we're all living?
No, I think it was a few moments, because generally when we get up in the morning, my wife goes down and she gets the paper first. We actually get a newspaper delivered. And the cursing that comes out of that is like, oh, well, can you believe this? Can you believe this? And then she would read me what had happened, which was usually something I'd already read on my phone. But it was an accumulation of so many outrageous, disrespectful, hurtful things that made me want to do it.
And you did. And I love the lyrics. We heard some of them there, but I love the references. Dick Van Dyke and sitcoms. The anchor for your nightly news, that's a Peter Jennings reference, I'm assuming.
That's
there.
A Peter Jennings,
Canadian.
Absolutely.
9/11, it is all there. And how did it, the writing of all of it, did it come quickly, Jim? Just tell us about the process of putting that together.
It came quickly, but there was a lot of editing, because I think there were things that were meaner that I didn't want to put in. I would write a verse and it would be somehow sneering and mean, and I didn't think that wasn't the tone that I wanted to adopt in the song. I wanted to adopt a tone of, oh, we're going to miss you. You know, that we had a great time and you've decided to leave, okay, but we're going to miss you.
Well, and even the melody, I mean, it's upbeat, it's happy, and the last few lines, because we didn't play the whole thing there, but give us a call when the fever ends. And then the last line, maybe we could be best friends again. So there's this hopeful note on which you've ended.
Well, I think that any reasonable person must feel like we're going to have to endure 4 years, or a little less than 4 years, of this horrible treatment and this insane quest of expansion in the United States, and then, assumedly, cooler heads will prevail and we can put back together. I think the world will be different. Certainly the world for Canada will be different, and I think that that's probably a good thing, and I like the way we're heading, and I certainly like the way that we have become unified because of this. I mean, we have a lot of provincial differences that we're overlooking for now to be unified against a common enemy. So it does have some positive aspects to it, too.
For sure. I want to talk about what we're seeing nationally in a second, but just in terms of specific response to that hopeful note at the end, you know, looking at some of the comments once this went up online from people, and notably from many Americans, Jim, I don't know if you follow the comments, what people think, but they're all saying, let's hope, from your friends in the U.S. or people who follow Blue Rodeo, been to your shows, border cities, border communities, a song of hope. Thank you. You know, they love that. So what have you heard that has been interesting to you in terms of the response to your song thus far?
Well, I've gotten a lot of response in Canada from friends and from people that people that are on, different sides of the political spectrum. But I get a lot of apologies from people in the States, people I know in Buffalo, California, and New York. This just completely embarrassed by how they're being represented. And of course, the ones I don't hear from, I assume they're okay with what's going on. So that will change that relationship too.
Used to be the best of friends. So listen,
we used to be the best of friends, yeah.
What we're seeing across this country, this surge of, buy Canada, elbows up Canada, all of this, and the degree of engagement, people writing to us, to me, to express their feelings, their anger, their frustration, their sense of betrayal, whatever it is. What are you seeing? What do you think it's tapping into? And I'm just curious to think how long it's going to last, the lasting impact of this.
I think it's going to last for a long time because I don't think we've felt all the negative impacts quite yet. I think that the tariffs haven't really taken hold. But it seems to me that we are unified in our appreciation and our apprehension of us as Canadians with a separate identity, as a sovereign country. I think what's great about it is that so much of the talk of annexing us or even economic union with us, it doesn't take into account Canadian culture, and I think that's a lot of what people are thinking about right now. We're thinking about what defines us as Canadians, how we accept looking after each other. I mean, the things that we have that are different, and I think for me one of the reckonings is, and I learned this long ago from touring a lot in the States, is we are not the same country, and we do not hold the same values, and we are very similar. We are akin to each other, but we're not the same. And I think that's one of the things that come to the forefront now, is that as many people that are on the right side of the spectrum or the left side of the spectrum, we still have some shared values that we're all appreciating and apprehending right now. So I think that's a good thing for us.
It is. It is, for sure. Thinking on things that matter, defining what matters. You mentioned something that I wanted to ask you about just finally, and that is the touring. Are you rethinking anything personally in terms of solo shows, Blue Rodeo stuff? Are you pausing on that with any of the concert appearances?
We don't. It's not like Blue Rodeo tours so much in the States, and we would have to think long and hard about that because I think that we all have to appreciate. Right now, I think we're in a battle with the entire United States. Fair enough. That's okay. But down the road, half the people in America who voted did not vote for this administration. And they don't necessarily deserve a full boycott. I mean, if they make bourbon, too bad. I understand that. But I think we'd have to think long and hard. I think that there's a couple of views in the band, some that say we will not play in the States while this is going on, and some that say I think we should try to take it concert by concert. But anyway, nothing's coming up. And frankly, they've made it so difficult to get working permits in the United States that it's almost not worth it.
A moot point. Hey, listen, I'm just interested in your thoughts on that, and always interested to hear what you have to say. Now, I didn't get you up in the morning and to get the harmonica in front of you, and I think there's something also in hand to just talk to you. This is a bit of a Canadian world premiere. You have never done the song live, is that right?
No. Oh, no. I don't even think I've played it in my room and I played it in the recording studio, but that's about it.
Well, this is fantastic. 2:30 tomorrow, you're part of the Elbows Up rally in Canada, and that'll be a big high point.
I want to ask you a question. Heather, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Do you think that Elbows Up is an offensive position or a defensive position?
Oh, that's really interesting. I think we want it to be an Elbows Up offensive position.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think of it as a defensive position, keeping people away from you, but then others disagree. So I think that'll be interesting.
Okay.
We're going to have to define it at some point.
Well, listen, the 1,500 people at one of these rallies. Wait a second. 1,500 people on Parliament Hill. You're going to have a big crowd. I'm going to get you warmed up. I want everyone to know. We're going to listen to Jim, take a little break, but this is the live debut of We Used to Be the Best of Friends on CBC Morning Live. And thank you, my very good friend. I appreciate it that you're here with us again today.
It's always a pleasure. And it's at Nathan Phillips Square, not
Nathan Phillips Square. Oh, yeah, sorry. No, I said they had huge crowds on the earlier one on Parliament Hill.
I'm sorry.
Maybe you'll have the same numbers in Nathan Phillips Square. Okay, thank you, Jim.
Now, eating our lunch on TV trays, watching the sitcoms night and day. Dick Van Dyke, when you're sick in bed, he used to be the best of friends. Got sent home when Kennedy died. Watched TV as Nixon lied. Watergate, Chappaquiddick, Moonland, and you used to be the best of friends. Oh no, what went wrong? You used to be the singers in a two-part song. Guess all good things come to an end, but we used to be the best of friends.